the DA in the Eastern Cape held a march in Butterworth in the Eastern Cape against the high levels of poverty in the province. The Butterworth area is a poverty hotspot. Just last year, 9 children died in the area due to malnutrition. And earlier this year, desperate mother took the lives of her 3 children before killing herself due to extreme poverty. Scores of residents attended, sharing their struggles. Now, SABC News reporter Abongile Jantjies attended the march and has more.
Alliance has just concluded its march here in Butterworth in the Eastern Cape. The leader of the party in the province, Andrew Whitfield, says their march was quite a success, even though the authorities that they were expecting to come and pick up and to sign the memorandum didn't preach. Let's get more reaction from him. Sir, we've been here since 9 o'clock in the morning. Your overall reaction?
The reaction from people in the streets, ordinary South Africans who are not part of the DA, has been incredible. Everywhere I look, people were nodding their heads. They're agreeing with us. Whether they vote for us or not, they're agreeing with the fact that the cost of living crisis is weighing heavily on ordinary South Africans. So I believe it was a tremendous success in highlighting the issue, but it's not a success in the sense that the cost of living still remains high. So that is why we're going to continue this campaign until government wakes up and realizes that they can't do nothing. They have to step up and do something. We believe our interventions are not political. Our solutions are tangible policy interventions that can make a fundamental difference in the life of the poorest South Africans. And I must just also say that while poorer South Africans are the most harshly affected by the cost of living crisis, every single South African knows what it means to go to the shops and have to pay more, or to pay more on their bond. The middle class is shrinking. People are falling out of the middle class and into poverty. They're ending up on the social development or social grant waiting lines because there's just no ways they can afford to continue to sustain the lives that they've built for themselves. And that's a complete tragedy.
What do you make of the person who was supposed to sign the memorandum not making it to this march? What do you make of his attitude?
Well, it's really typical of Premier Mabuyane's government. Really completely out of touch, unavailable, and not accountable. They agreed to come and then they changed their minds. They're sitting in air-conditioned offices while we're out here in the streets legitimately raising one of the most pressing and burning issues that affects all South Africans, and they can't have the decency to come and accept the petition. But we don't mind. We're going to take it to Bishu, and we're going to continue to make noise until the Premier realizes and respects the fact that the voice of these people that came here today and every other person who joined us along the way in the march deserves to be listened to, and that our interventions are practical, implementable solutions that he can actually adopt in order to change the circumstances of the people in South Africa.
Speaking about the Premier, I know the DA has reacted on his crack team. Some people he believes that that crack team will address such issues. What do you make of it?
Then I think the majority of South Africans would agree with us that it's a smokescreen, is what my colleague Yusuf Kasim referred to it as. We see all of these crack teams, task teams, new appointments, acting positions. We don't see actual change. What we want to see is fundamental change. And, if the Premier can take the Eastern Cape out of the top rankings of being the highest unemployment in the country, well, I'll eat my cap. But at the moment, the Eastern Cape has the highest unemployment in the country, and it's a sign of complete and utter failure. So he can put together a crack team, but at the moment things are falling through the cracks, and the Premier is not catching what is actually falling through the cracks at the moment.
Thanks a lot for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Andrew Whitfield, the leader of the Democratic Alliance here in the Eastern Cape, expressing strong views about the current government, which is led by the ANC, saying that poverty levels are deepening here in the Eastern Cape, and that with these marches they shall continue to hold similar marches so that they can hold government accountable.